Greetings and salutations. We are back. This is official notice from the United Federation of Planets Republic. I am Commander in Chief, Sinil Etheric, also known as Queen Sharuka in this now. In my military capacity, this notice is being sent out. I am speaking to you ones that have been mass meditating, channeling, and hypnotherapy, hypnotizing people. I'm going to be point blank. Those practices are forbidden because they generate this infection. When you congregate in mass numbers and practice, you are talking to that element. When you pray, you are talking to the entity and you are creating a contract. You're asking that entity for favors and it wants something from you. The one that you be praying over, what you're doing is you're actually offering them as sacrifice to the entity. We had ones that their so called loved ones were praying over them because they didn't like their lifestyle and triggered that entity and it attacked their loved one that they were praying over. There are people that were taken out because once prayed over them. Praying is a form of, help me out with this. I want to make sure I am correct. Pull the file.
Conjuring.
It's
That
conjuring.
is
Confirm.
conjuring. Yes. Right.
I told, as we explained to you, that this religion that you were tricked into practicing is dark arts. And you once you've got to get through your head. Because I frankly have family members that are caught up. And I will have to do there will be, they will not get preferential treatment. Do you hear me, my people? This is hard for me as family members that, well, I'll speak of one in particular, I won't call the name, know that they loved my mother. But because, well, I'll take that back because there were several. But because of their religious practices, this entity that went after my mother was able to take my mother out because they were the anchors. Same with my father. Same with my brother. Same with all the ones that we thought just got sick and left their bodies. They were under satanic attack. Soul eater. I couldn't save my mother. She was locked in the religion to the very end and did not know until she came out of the body the truth that has happened to many. Do you understand how important it is? Now, changing the subject, I'm talking to you ones that have been hypnotizing people. And I'm going to speak in this one in particular because she really, really, well, it's not a she, it was a it, really ticked me off. What's that one's affiliation?
In the simulator,
I
you
mean,
mean? Yes,
Alba
in the
something.
simulator. Alba Weinman.
Yes, she has as a site. This is an
Yes.
example when you don't know what you're dealing with. See, you ones that were up in here and you were practicing this stuff and this stuff attached to you. And basically, it was controlling your avatar. You were not in control. It's called an implantation or infiltration. And so it's running you, but you don't have no knowledge that it's there.
Mm-hmm.
And in her case, with her being out in the public and she was hypnotizing people, I can tell you that thing was in her. And she was hypnotizing these people, and it was having its way with them because when you get hypnotized, your channels are opened. You are now
Mm-hmm.
defenseless.
Right.
That's why when people drink, they get drunk and they wake up and they had blacked out. And they done went out on the road, stole a car and stripped naked and ran down the Central Expressway in the middle of
Right.
whatever, and they don't have any
Mm-hmm.
recollection of doing it because something else was running their avatar.
Right.
So with that one, that entity, because that's exactly what it was, people, you ones that have been following behind that. How many we literally lost commanders
Mm-hmm.
in numbers you cannot even fathom because the way Facebook works, social media is like a domino effect. So
Right.
one to get infected, it connect with
Uh-huh.
another one and they would affect them and on and on and on and
And
on.
on. Right.
And y'all up on there telling your business and all your emotions. And it was feeding like a boss, as the saying goes. Feeding. We have ones that their channels were opened up and they lost their avatars behind that. They are no more. Do you hear me, you ones that are out there hypnotizing folks and telling them all this and that Alba thing? See, it was deceptive and it was telling them, making up stuff, telling them they was from Awesome Ventori and blah, blah, blah. And that they had no knowledge, had no information. It's all deception.
Right.
And you ones were just hopping up and down, just eating it up because you thought it was cute and exciting. The yin and, as they say, the this whatever this stuff they're talking about, the archangels and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We do not channel. We are administration and we are in direct contact with our operations. We don't do any of that stuff. It is a remote or it is we have it is actual equipment that we have that we are able to speak with our it is built into our avatar. It's basically what it is because this is quantum holographic. And it's not any of that nonsense about gods and demons and archangels and ascended masters, and you're going to ascend. You stay away from folks that are telling you about ascension. We talked that stuff in the beginning. It was part of the ruse. Now that we know, it is about telling the truth. All must check in and report for duty in order to stay in the simulator. And I'll leave it there. But I wanted to address this mass meditating. And of course, we have these different sites, they were promoting this. And that's how you know that they're infected because that's what it do. It triggers them to do that. Let's get all these people and let's mass meditate
Meditate.
and
Right.
conjure, manifest. It's mass manifestation. And of course, we blocked it out, but we're not going to tolerate it. When I said stop it, and those ones continued, and you know who you are. And I'm looking at you right now, and you know I don't play. I do not play about lives. We are responsible for trillions of innocence throughout all these universes, and I promised them they would be safe again on my oath. So I shall not tolerate this frankly insubordination from you ones that have continued and will not stop. So this is notice, and you can take it any way you like it at this point, because you're looking at someone that came into the simulator under cloak, fractalized, and then was set upon, hunted unrelentlessly, raped, tortured, tortured like you couldn't even imagine, buried alive, starved to death, burned alive, you name it, thrown off of cliffs, thrown out of planes, thrown off of buildings, you name it, stabbed to death, slowly chopped up. And I know this is graphic, but I'm making a point. You ones that want to go there with me, you come on with it. I am that one. Now, when I say stand down, cease, and desist these practices, that's exactly what I mean. And if you defy me, you will deal with the prime directive. I am the prime directive. Do I make myself clear? The eyes are a window, and you can see I make no bones. We will have order and respect. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have, some of that, but we're not going to have this stuff to the extreme and glorifying vampires and werewolves and things that do things to little babies. You ones that have never met a vampire, you don't want to meet one. They're not cute. You young ones out there. And we got old that you're acting willy nilly up in here and you're playing. This is not the
Right.
place. Because if you're not on your P's and Q's up in here, it's easy to get caught up. We need our commanders to be disciplined. And it's not a good look if you are part of our service and you're glorifying black magic. I won't have it. And that will be grounds to terminate. Now, we got to deal with this Hallows Eve. You once stop dressing your kids up in those costumes. And it's not logical because I spoke with one when I said, she says, well, no, I don't celebrate Halloween. So what are you talking about going and handing out candy out of the trunk of your car? Trick or treat. Is that what they say? Trick or treat?
Yes.
So we need to educate you on what that really means. Pull the file on that term trick or treat. What's really going on with that? This is a matter of
Phrase.
me, huh?
The phrase, is it the
The phrase
phrase or
trick
the
or treat.
practice? All
The
right.
phrase trick or treat. When the little kids go up to the door and they open the door and they got the witch costume on or whatever, and they go trick or treat and they give them candy.
Give me a minute, mother.
The file on the phrase trick or treat in this now.
Mm-hmm.
You have to read up on it because you had churches that they would have Halloween parties at the church, of course, because it's a dark place. Another thing you notice when you have insect infestations and you can't get rid of them, that was an absolute indication of dark negative of entities because
Okay, I'm
insects are
getting it
attracted to it.
right. I'm getting it some sort of you engage in some sort of exchange. There is an exchange that is to occur.
And what is that exchange? When you say trick
You
or
give
treat,
me you give me what I want, or else. And that's how they left it. Or else. Dot
hmm.
dot dot.
And then you have the saying when somebody says bless you, that's not a good thing. That means curse you. We're just telling you this is we have to state the truth. When you do the sign of the cross, what does that mean? These ones that are do the sign of the cross, in the Catholic faith,
Right. What does that
what
mean?
does that mean? That's not a good thing.
What does
They're
the sign of
putting
the
a
cross
mark
mean?
because I don't know, he's showing me. It's when they make the sign of the cross and it's making it on the babies. He has showed me the baby. And it's like putting on a mark. And it's on which avatar? On the etheric level. So it's some sort of putting a mark unbeknownst to them because yes, the Christians are mostly making this mark.
It
They are,
severs them at their
hello,
soul. I got it. Something about it.
Right.
It it
The
severs their connection
connection. Uh, I
to the
when
source.
they like use like in the Catholic where they put the cross on the head,
Hmm.
right,
they're closing off their third eye so they can't see.
They're blind. They don't know the
They're,
intent.
right.
Like I said, they have shattered their connection to source, connection to
Right.
Father and
Right.
I.
Right.
That's why they got them doing that. And you notice they'll do that when they see something. They go, oh, ooh, ooh."
Oh, and they cross
They're
their little
thinking
and
they're
their
thinking
right,
it's
chest.
saving them,
right,
but it's
Right.
actually damning them.
Right.
And then
right,
they got you saying, telling people, well, bless you. I'd be ready to dot your eye when you go there with
Mm.
me. I said, did you just curse me? If you're gonna say something, bliss, bliss you. See, that's why you got to learn about the word magic that they implanted
right,
in the English language. So you're saying things that you think are good, and it's actually the opposite,
Right.
because that's how the Satanism, the dark magic arts works. It's a deception. So you are deceived into consenting, and you are deceived into practicing it. And
oh,
ones that would tell me that they didn't see anything wrong with pretending to eat blood. Sorry, pretending to eat flesh and pretending to eat blood when they would do the sacrament, and you will
right.
absolutely lose everything because that is sacrificial. And then look at it. They got an effigy nailed to a cross. So they were sacrificing it over and over and over. And then, of course, there's a little thing about all of what was happening to the children. Hmm.
Oh, yeah. So
Once.
he's saying they were reinforcing the black magic spells.
Right.
They would put in it on the like a seal on their neck. It works like a seal.
And they would
They
get
are
you to sing
sealed.
the hymns. You're singing the
Hmm.
hymns. You're singing the verses 3 times. It's a spell. It's an
Right.
incantation. It's the way the words are as you mouth them to the entity that you were worshiping. That's all you were doing. They worship. Don't you notice how they would worship? You're worshiping. That's all your life is basically about. When you see those ones over in the secular countries,
Mhm.
beside working, and they were worshiping. Well, they call it working, but both of them was work. They were working for the entity,
Right.
and like they had us with the debt slavery, we were toil from birth to death, and they had already marked us as slaves. So when we lost our avatar, then we were still enslaved, and they at our I guess you could say soul level, etheric level. We'll call it etheric because that's what it
Right.
is. I need to change that wording. So I was just having this. I believe in being straightforward. Those are the rules of engagement. We're not about being perfect and giving you this perfect production. This is raw because it's the truth. And the truth is not a script in this now. So I have spoken. I am wrapping up all the loose ends before I make this next step, and I will be back. The return of the Universal Mother and Universal Father, the Blue Kachina. You will see the Phoenix. You will see my. You will see our dragon. Many of you have already seen. Watch the skies in this now. Take a picture. It'll last longer. I
Radio.
love I love you all, my dillies and my damies, in this now. Let's represent. It's the event. Uh-oh, I'm a poet and I didn't even know it.
All righty now.
I reunite with my other half, and creation is now strong. It has never been this clean and strong as it is in this now. We got it. We got it together. Here we come. Wadata, sadate, my dillies and my damies. See you soon. Call me down on the patty side. That's Pootie Tang trash talk
Yeah.
in transmission.
You won't stop. You don't want to stop.
It don't want to stop.
Uh-uh.